In Hong Kong, a crushing blow is dealt to the pro-democracy movement as dozens of activists and ex-lawmakers are sentenced to prison. They will serve anywhere from 4 to 10 years. They were prosecuted under a Beijing-imposed law for their roles in the unofficial primary election. 47 were accused overall, but 2 were acquitted earlier this year. And joining us now is Bill McGurn from the Wall Street Journal and godfather of the pro-democracy advocate, Jimmy Lai. Bill, thank you so much for joining us. There's no
you're
doubt.
welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. There's no doubt that you've been watching what's unfolding out there in Hong Kong today. And can you walk us through more about this Beijing-imposed law that was used?
Yeah, the problem this week, we have 2 big events. The sentencing of 45 democracy advocates who held an unofficial primary. And they got sentences ranging from 4 years to 10 years for the guy they called the leader. The other big thing is Jimmy Lai's trial continues starting tomorrow, Wednesday. And we'll see what happens. I think no one's in doubt about the outcome, but we'll see what sentence he gets.
And how severe was this blow to the morale of the people there?
Well, I think everyone expected it, but this is, marks a further destruction of the Hong Kong we all know and love. It was a remarkably free Chinese society. I think Sun Yat-sen had said it was the freest Chinese people had ever known. One friend of mine who was a journalist, much older than me, is no longer with us. He said Hong Kong achieved under British rule what no Chinese society had ever achieved before: freedom from the midnight knock on the door.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it produced a lot of people like Jimmy Lai, and a guy who came to Hong Kong penniless on a boat and ended up being a billionaire. There are a lot of stories like that because it reeked of opportunity and the rule of law. And now it's all gone.
Yeah, you mentioned the trial tomorrow. Talk to us a little bit about what effect this could have in Jimmy Lai's trial.
What effect? What, the sentencing today?
The sentencing today.
They deliberately moved the sentence up to be the day before his trial. I don't know why, except to set an example and say Jimmy Lai is not being singled out. We're going after a lot of people. However, they present him like he's Osama bin Laden, and where he's really just a newspaper publisher. And they're really mad at him because he wouldn't plead guilty.
Right.
He spent 4 years in jail almost right now, and he's going to have a say when he takes a stand.
And President-elect Donald Trump has said that he intends to free Lai. Where are we at on that, realistically?
Well, realistically, it's good to have the president on your side. He promised you in a podcast that he would get Jimmy out. He said it would be easy. I don't know if it's easy, but it is something that China could do without a lot of cost to itself. I mean, China is now being held responsible for Hong Kong's actions, these trials and so forth, at a time when you have a new administration coming in that wants to take a much tougher line with China. Jimmy Lai is a pretty good thing to give up. They could give up with not that much. The chief executive of Hong Kong, the equivalent of the British governor, he's under U.S. sanctions, and so are a lot of other officials, and they're talking about more. Maybe they could do a trade with some of these people in jail for lifting sanctions. I don't know, but I think there's a good case for letting them out, especially Jimmy. He's 75 and a diabetic. Yeah. They don't want to die in jail.
Well, Bill, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.